Hey guys, welcome back to Film Recap. Here today, I'm going to explain a movie called From the Land of the Moon. Robascal couple travels to Leon, her son, when Mark goes to school. A contest for young and talented people pianists in the morning. Go to the concert hall and get stuck there, traffic jam. When he noticed the name of the famous street, Gabrielle gets out of her car and asks her out. Her husband feeds her son himself. She has important business. Fra thinks that he has found the perfect home. The apartment where Andrew Savage lives, and go there 15 years before these events happened, when I was younger. Gabrielle and her family live in a small house. A village embedded in a beautiful plain. A girl from Provence suffers. Unbridled passion and dreams. Man seduces her after enjoying it. Like a river caressing between us. Gabrielle stands up waving his hand. The teacher who should get a new book doesn't have it, vaguely express sympathy for him. But the man doesn't seem to notice Gabrielle ate when he got home, separated from his parents and young children, goes to the bedroom with his sister. After reading the teacher's name, cover of book, girl passionate, kiss it and dream of connection. In the evening with Jean, he writes Gabrielle, a confession of love to my teacher, dreaming poetry form, feelings will be with each other. In a few days, everyone will meet. Make arrangements at the girl's house, celebration of the end. Harvest among the invited guests. Jean, who came to the event. Pregnant woman. The man didn't pay for the whole night. Take care of his students. Insulting a girl after waiting. She is now after Jean, who has hardened her resolve. Pee her and confess to her emotions. The teacher tries to explain everything, but he is married, so he keeps her away. Vulnerable Gabrielle accepts it too much. It appeals to the heart and urges men to do so. He runs away to the fields. In the morning, the villagers go out to search for a girl and finds her unconscious. Gorge, when I go home for a while. Deranged Gabrielle continues his behavior. Oddly enough, he refused to eat and took off his clothes. He himself is in front of the window. Workers to watch send Adele to help his daughter, took her to her psychologist, but he can't to influence a girl once in church. Girls mostly seek love. Otherwise life is not sweet. A few days later, Adele finds out. Masons working in their own homes. She took an interest in Gabrielle. Watch her play the piano. Considering it's a good addition, Adele decides to marry Gabrielle. Josie is responsible and she is polite masonry. She also promises to help him open it. Finally satisfied with my own company, workers agree to the proposal. Girl's mother. A few days later, Josie visits Gabrielle. A house to meet her and her parents. Better girls honestly avoid communication, run to the hangar with him. The mason who followed her tries to improve his relationship with his future, her wife, but she believes he took a bribe. And her parents just want to get rid of her. After a while, she agreed to get them. She's married, but forewarned. I will never fall in love with Jose. She doesn't sleep in the same bed with him. She doesn't matter to men. There is a woman with easy access, and he's service available. Jose and Gabrielle will soon be married. Even though the girl disappeared the night before, she suffers from severe back pain. Immediately after marriage, a couple moves to live in Marseille. Jose founded his own company, house and hut. Gabrielle is still cold to her. Her husband doesn't want to go out. A bed worth accepting and respecting. His wife Jo's decision is sleeping. Living room sofa. After a while, a man made it a business trip, but Gabrielle is aware of this. He cheats on her and leaves. Easily accessible women. When she found out her husband was paying, Gabrielle wears lingerie for 200 francs. And demand Joe to pay for the act of love. A few weeks later, she became a couple. I took a trip to the suburbs where Josie is. She is finishing building her new house for her Gabrielle in exam. It turns out that there was bleeding in the hospital. She was pregnant, but she lost the baby because of stone disease or kidney problems. Found out his wife was sick. Her treatment, Josie takes her to her sanatorium, located in the Alps. Girls have to stay here for 6 weeks. What are they complaining about? I don't like this place at all. Accustomed to sanatorium. Gabrielle. Communicate with your doctor. Maid named Augustine young girls pay attention to patients. She was kind to Gabriel, and she, let's communicate and start making friends after the following process. The girl asks the maid to help. She found that she was helping her handsome man. Next day, she meets a man with a lieutenant who participated in the war, left Indochina for her health reasons. Andrew Savage is scared to leave the house. Enter the room and ask the girl to check if it belongs to him. I didn't hear anything, so my neighbor is there. She is from him for the first time in a long time. Augustine later said it was Andrew. Fall asleep quickly when seriously ill eternally. He is a hereditary soldier. He is a fine man, but he has no wife or child. Decide to get to know each other. Feeling better when Gabriel visits Andrew, pick up a book and sympathize. She looked at the man's home address and said she remembers it. A little while later, the girl is embroidering, listening to music in the restaurant hall. I look up and see the Unders playing. Gabriel on the piano sits nearby, but she. As a result, the dialogue is immediately aborted. The fact that the patient's condition is greatly deteriorated. He makes sure she's a fun companion. Girls visit men more often, and often hours later, she visits Andrew again. Pain management with illicit drugs. She tries every way she can, cheering for a man and not noticing his sick defect. In the end, Andrew gives the girl his touch book in her hands. Gabriel becomes more and more attracted to her, but she is forced out of the station. Humans must sleep when they are down. The girl who lives on the first floor finds out about her husband. She arrived at the sanatorium. She has her dissatisfaction with her own appearance. The first thing Joseph and she asked was, how soon will he break up with her? I still can't stand his wife's rudeness. The heart of a stonemason going outside. After lunch, he goes to a rented place to smoke. Guest house, because the train only departs from there. Meanwhile, in the morning, Gabriel decided to do it. The visit reveals that the man is not. She feels comfortable, supports and reassures. Feel him in every way, touch her feet or like that. The lieutenant's hand is raised high. Even if it's more expensive, he will eventually fall asleep. And Gabriel is forced to return to her, even though there was a room. Nothing, girl, thank God for giving her true love. The next morning, while reading a book newspaper on the lawn, Gabrielle noticed something. Mattress drying by the window. When she realizes this is Andrew's room. She rushed there and saw a man there. He disappeared, and he was taken there after all Leon for a blood transfusion. Military health continued to degrade. I didn't want to part with my beloved. Gabrielle chases his car and falls. She was exhausted when she realized she lost her under for the next 3 days, once and for all. The situation was so bad that the girl did not wake up. Health, only Augustine can do it. She supported her, but her maid took it. Unable to take time off to help those in distress. Gabrielle. A little more time passed and the girls. During lunch, Andrew realizes who did it. She went back to the sanatorium. Men admit they were miserable without it and invite them to visit his new home, Father General's apartment, lent it to him. Immediately, Gabriel visited his mistress, continued to spend more and more time with him. When I found out he was a photographer. When she reached them, she insisted on take a picture together. The couple was photographed the next morning, against the backdrop of the Alps. Please leave a wonderful memory with her acquaintance. The couple then go for a walk woods and Andrea admit what they did. She never had a girlfriend. Easy Vietnamese woman realized that this might be his first time. Gabriel begins to undress him. The girl's behavior angers Andorra because he knows it's Gabriel. If he is married, he cannot violate the principle, and he asks her not to take off her clothes. The girl takes this as an insult and runs away. The next morning she left, follows standard steps and proceed. Her here is where Andrew finds her and kisses her. She apologized for his behavior. She shut herself up in the lieutenant's apartment. Couple love each other and have fun. Some people spend days without going outside. After a while, Augustine says to Gabrielle, but her doctor will call her. The girl made a full recovery, returned to her old life. She doesn't want to go, so she asks to go. She also stays in a sanatorium for several days. It's been a few weeks, but the doctor doesn't budge. He also told Josie about it all, and tomorrow he will come here. Scared of losing her love, Gabrielle runs to him. Ander offers to run away. Looking at the suitcase, she learned. The lieutenant is on duty too, but he's on duty. He will go to Lyon, and there he will receive treatment and recovery. He loves Gabrielle dearly. He promised he would keep his feelings, but now it's not her relationship and not her time. I have to wait a little longer. Andrew asked him to write a letter. He promises to reply when he finds out. We must part. Gabrielle, save me. Share photos with your lover with special offers. I'm scared to say goodbye. Augustine before returning home. A month later, Gabrielle found out it was his. She got pregnant again. She understands that this is Andrew's. Has her child and is hiding this from her husband. Good news for a while, her sister and her entourage. Over time, Gabrielle realizes that it is. It is impossible to keep deceiving. Jose confesses he had a lover at the sanatorium where she spent no night. Her husband is angry but forgiving. Girl, he's sure it's his child. He is addicted to emotions. Gabrielle writes a letter to Ander, confess and explain your love for him. Every day and her suffering, a different experience than him. When I heard that the postman had arrived, he rushes to his car to see if there's anything. That was the answer that Andrew didn't write. No girl loses hope. And he sends letter after letter. Her husband sees all this, but she doesn't. Love is stronger than that, so don't worry. Marriage bond. Days turn into weeks and months. But Andrew still doesn't answer. Girl letter, she painfully accepts this and closes. She herself ignores her more and more husband. One day she finds Josie has a stack. She greedily jumped at the letter. Check all envelopes to ensure that her lover, on the other hand, wrote nothing. Gabrielle has experienced this difficulty. Her husband is the only one to support you in this difficult moment. After a while, the girl got something wonderful. A boy she calls Mark, both Gabrielle. Both my parents and Jose are happy. I am still convinced that this is his son. Years pass and Gabrielle forgets Ander because she is now a happy wife. Mother Jeannie is jealous of her sister. Her husband is always there. I work and rarely see you. It will soon be the reason. Gabrielle doesn't talk about divorce, her sister's joy, because it's her. She is not satisfied with her life. A chime sounds when Gabrielle returns to the car. When I listen to the radio, I hear familiar melodies. I recall again that Andrew played his mistress loves to play the piano, finding a tutor for his son in a dream. Mark will play the piano as well as his own father. Josie is not happy about this, but Gabrielle is. He is not interested in his opinion. 7 years later, Mark, a great musician who does more than just please him, not only his mother, but also other family members with his talent. Nearing the evening, Jose announced his son should go to the music competition. Leon has every chance to win. Soon the family will travel to another city, where Gabrielle remembers exactly Andrew lives by a familiar name. On the street, she rushed to his house. Andrews finds a suitable apartment here. Her assistant met her and she said, Dad has gone to another world. Gabrielle is interested in his lover. He too finds himself trapped in eternity sleep that happened 15 years ago. Accept the truth with fear. A woman goes to a concert but is late. And from Josie, for the first time her son came second. Her husband returns to her home and tells Gabrielle about what the day was like. He went to visit her to smoke. They met with Lieutenant Ander. He admitted that he liked the girl, but he won't love her in years. That night, my thoughts went round about the war. Gabrielle and Josia went nowhere. I didn't stay at the inn. He came home to his wife and husband. Because we loved each other, Mark really is that person. The next morning, the man's own son, Andrew, fell and was taken to the hospital. Fell into eternal sleep, never to return. It was all Gabrielle's terrible imagination. I don't fully believe in true love, and Liv, she believed her husband's words. Gabrielle finds a suitcase full of things. Open a postcard with a photo. Hannah hides and stares at him again. A woman finds her self-alone photo. No one else. Josie admits she didn't tell him. He told her the truth because he was afraid of hurting her who he loves. Happy couple after a while. They move to a new house and start living with a blank slate. The movie ends here. Subscribe for more videos, turn on notifications, and leave a like to help the channel. Thank you for watching.